The modern firearms market runs on one principle: replace, upgrade, modernize, new polymer frames, revised trigger systems, updated generations that render previous models obsolete on a cycle the industry controls, not the shooter. 7 pistols were never built for that cycle. Forged tolerances, proven mechanical designs, platforms engineered before planned obsolescence became a business model. 7 budget pistols, decades of documented reliability. Here's what the upgrade culture doesn't want you holding on to. This video is for educational purposes only and does not promote harm or unsafe use of firearms. Number 7. FNS-9 Compact. Most people think budget pistol means compromise, cheap materials, disposable performance, a gun you carry for a few years before the next trendy polymer wonder replaces it. But the FNS-9 Compact was built with a completely different philosophy. This pistol feels like it came from an era when manufacturers still believed firearms should survive decades of abuse instead of just passing YouTube torture tests. The moment you rack the slide, you understand it. There's a dense, mechanical confidence to it. No gimmicks, no flashy competition cuts, just cold, battle-ready engineering designed to keep running long after newer handguns start choking on wear and tolerance issues. FN didn't build the FNS-9 Compact for hype. They built it for hard use, and that's exactly why this thing may outlive half the modern carry guns flooding the market today. The textured frame locks into your hand like it was molded under pressure for combat, while the low-bore axis keeps recoil flat and controlled even during rapid fire. And then there's the trigger, cleaner than people expect from a duty-focused handgun, with a reset that feels sharp and deliberate instead of mushy and forgettable. But what really separates this pistol is endurance. This isn't a range toy pretending to be tactical. It's the kind of sidearm you throw into a truck, carry through rain, dust, heat, and years of neglect. And it still answers when you need it most. That's why experienced shooters quietly respect it. While the industry chases optics-ready trends and ultralight frames, the FNS-9 Compact remains brutally dependable. Even today, you can still find them at a price that feels almost unfair for what you're getting. And years from now, when newer carry pistols are cracked, worn out, or forgotten, there's a good chance the FN will still be sitting there, ready for another magazine. Number 6. HKVP9 The HKVP9 was never designed to impress people for a season. It was engineered to dominate for a generation. And that's the difference most shooters miss. While modern, budget-friendly pistols race toward lighter frames, cheaper internals, and mass-production shortcuts, Heckler & Koch approached the VP9 like a combat machine that might still be running when its owner's grandchildren inherit it. This pistol carries the DNA of German over-engineering in every inch of its construction. The slide feels like it's riding on steel rails carved by precision machinery instead of stamped together on an assembly line. Even after thousands of rounds, the action stays smooth, tight, and brutally consistent. That's not marketing hype. That's the reputation HK built over decades, serving military and law enforcement units that don't get second chances when equipment fails. The VP9's striker-fired system is one of the cleanest in its class, breaking with a crispness that makes many factory triggers feel unfinished by comparison. But here's where things get interesting. This gun isn't only refined, it's durable in a way that feels almost excessive. The reinforced polymer frame absorbs punishment without feeling hollow or fragile, and the cold, hammer-forged barrel is built to survive. Round counts most owners will never even reach. In the hand, the VP9 feels planted and aggressive, almost like the pistol is pulling itself back on target after every shot. The grip texture bites hard without becoming uncomfortable, and those customizable side panels make it fit like a tailored fighting tool instead of a generic carry gun. What really makes the VP9 dangerous to the competition is value over time. A lot of trendy pistols look exciting for 2 years, then disappear into forgotten forums and used gun cases. The VP9 doesn't play that game. It ages like a service rifle, quietly earning trust through performance. And while it may cost more upfront than bargain bin carry guns, this is the kind of firearm you buy once and keep for life. Because when modern handguns start wearing out, loosening up, or fading into irrelevance, the HKVP9 will still be cycling like a machine built for war. Number 5. Kimber R7 Mako. At first glance, the Kimber R7 Mako looks like just another modern micro-compact trying to survive in an overcrowded concealed carry market. Small frame, aggressive slide cuts, high-capacity magazine. On paper, it blends into the same category as dozens of trendy carry guns fighting for attention online. But once you actually run the R7 Mako hard, you realize Kimber built this pistol with a level of refinement most budget-minded shooters never expected. This isn't a disposable carry gun made to chase a 2-year hype cycle. It feels engineered to stay alive long after newer pistols start developing cracks, sloppy triggers, and reliability problems from constant use. Kimber approached the Mako like a defensive weapon first, and a marketing product second, and that mindset changes everything. The trigger alone tells the story. Smooth take-up, a sharp wall, and a clean break that feels more like a tuned full-size pistol than a lightweight micro-compact. In fast follow-up shots, the gun stays flatter than its size should realistically allow, and the recoil impulse feels controlled instead of snappy and chaotic. But the real strength of the R7 Mako hides in its construction. The stainless steel chassis system gives the pistol a rigid backbone that refuses to feel flimsy under pressure. Rack the slide 100 times, and it still locks up with that dense mechanical feel shooters usually associate with far more expensive firearms. Now, this is where things change. Most compact carry pistols are designed around convenience, easy to carry, easy to replace. The Mako feels different. It feels like the kind of pistol someone carries for 20 years because it keeps proving itself every single time they pull the trigger. Even the optics-ready design avoids feeling trendy or overdone. Everything about the gun serves function before appearance. And when you factor in the price compared to premium carry pistols flooding the market, the R7 Mako starts looking less like a budget option and more like a hidden long-term investment. Because while other compact pistols are being replaced by newer models every year, this Kimber has the kind of build quality that could quietly outlast them all. Number 4. Smith & Wesson CSX. The Smith & Wesson CSX feels like a rebellion against everything the modern handgun industry has become. In a world obsessed with oversized polymer frames and disposable-feeling carry guns, the CSX brought metal back into the fight. The first time you pick it up, there's an immediate difference. Weight, density, balance. It doesn't feel hollow or temporary. It feels like a real firearm, something forged to survive years of hard carry, rough handling, and thousands of rounds without losing its identity. That's why the CSX belongs on this list. Because while newer pistols are getting lighter, cheaper, and more dependent on trends, this compact beast feels built to outlive the entire cycle. Smith & Wesson could have followed the crowd and released another forgettable polymer micro-compact. Instead, they leaned into aluminum alloy construction, giving the CSX a rugged backbone that absorbs recoil with surprising authority. The result is a carry pistol that shoots bigger than it looks. The recoil impulse feels controlled and planted, allowing faster follow-up shots without the violent snap common in tiny concealed carry guns. And then there's the hammer-fired system, a rare sight in modern carry pistols. That crisp, tactile break creates a shooting experience that feels deliberate and mechanical, almost like the gun is communicating directly with the shooter every time the trigger resets. But here's what really matters. The CSX isn't trying to win social media popularity contests. It's designed for people who actually carry every day. Sweat, dust, vehicle storage, years of friction against holsters and seatbelts. This pistol feels prepared for all of it. The metal frame develops character instead of weakness, and that matters because true longevity isn't about looking perfect forever. It's about still functioning when newer guns start feeling worn out and loose. Even the aggressive slide serrations and compact footprint serve a purpose instead of existing for style points. At its price point, the CSX delivers something rare in today's market. Old-school toughness disguised as a modern carry gun. And years from now, when plastic frame trends have changed 5 more times, this little Smith may still be riding on someone's hip, ready to work like it always has. Number 3. Staccato C2. The Staccato C2 is the kind of pistol that makes ordinary handguns feel unfinished. This isn't some bargain bin carry gun assembled to hit a price point. It's a combat-grade machine born from the legendary 2011 platform, a design that blends the precision of a custom competition pistol with the ruthless dependability of a duty weapon. And that's exactly why the C2 earns a place on a list about guns that will outlive modern firearms. Because while most handguns today are built for mass production and short attention spans, the Staccato C2 feels crafted for decades of hard service. The moment the slide moves, you can feel the difference. Tight, glass smooth, mechanical perfection. It's the kind of fitment that reminds you some manufacturers still believe quality matters more than volume. But here's where this pistol becomes dangerous to the competition. The C2 doesn't just shoot well, it changes expectations. The trigger breaks with surgical precision, almost telepathic in the way it responds under pressure. Recoil comes straight back instead of snapping upward, making rapid fire feel unbelievably controlled for a compact handgun. You don't fight this pistol, you drive it. That's why elite law enforcement units and serious shooters gravitated toward Staccato in the first place. The company took the classic steel-framed DNA of the 1911 and modernized it without destroying its soul. The result is a sidearm that feels alive in the hands of a trained shooter. And unlike many modern carry guns that start feeling sloppy after years of abuse, the C2 is built around durability that borders on obsessive. Steel components, premium internals, precision machined parts designed to withstand brutal round counts without losing consistency. Yes, the price is far above typical budget pistols, but value and cheapness are not the same thing. A disposable gun costs less today and more tomorrow when it fails. The Staccato C2 is different. This is the kind of firearm people keep forever. The kind passed down between generations with holster wear carved into the frame like scars from battle. Long after trendy striker-fired pistols fade out of relevance, the C2 will still be there, running smooth, shooting flat, and reminding everyone what true craftsmanship feels like. Number 2. Ruger Security 9. The Ruger Security 9 doesn't get the same flashy attention as high-end tactical pistols, and honestly, that's exactly why it survives. This gun was never built for internet hype. It was built for ordinary people who needed a sidearm they could trust when life turns ugly. No unnecessary complexity. No overpriced branding. Just a hard-working pistol engineered with the kind of practical toughness that modern firearms companies are slowly abandoning. And that's what makes the Security 9 dangerous. While trend-driven handguns chase innovation for the sake of marketing, Ruger focused on something far more important: longevity. The kind of durability that keeps a gun running through years of concealed carry, home defense duty, truck storage, and constant range abuse without draining your wallet. The slide may not have fancy cuts or competition styling, but it feels solid in motion, like the pistol was designed to endure punishment instead of posing for thumbnails. Underneath that clean, simple exterior is a hammer-fired internal system that gives the trigger a surprisingly smooth character for a pistol in this price range. Every shot feels controlled and predictable, and the lightweight frame carries easily without feeling cheap or fragile in the hand. But here's where the Security 9 quietly humiliates more expensive guns. It just keeps working. Feed it dirty ammo, run it dry, leave it neglected longer than you should, and it still fights through conditions that cause trendier pistols to become unreliable nightmares. That's the Ruger philosophy. Build firearms for real-world survival, not temporary excitement. The grip texture, low recoil impulse, and intuitive controls make it approachable for beginners, but seasoned shooters respect it for a different reason. Consistency. This is the type of pistol you buy once, train with for years, and eventually realize it has become part of your daily life. The price tag makes people underestimate it, but that's a mistake. Because long after expensive next-generation carry guns disappear from store shelves, the Security 9 will probably still be sitting in nightstands, glove compartments, and holsters across America, still functioning like the day it left the factory. Number 1. Tisas PX-9 Gen 3. The Tisas PX-9 Gen 3 comes from a category of pistols most shooters underestimate. The moment people hear budget handgun, they assume compromise. Weak internals, cheap construction. A gun that works fine for a year before the wear starts showing. But the PX-9 Gen 3 destroys that assumption the second you put rounds through it. This pistol feels like it was built by people who cared more about endurance than reputation. And honestly, that's what makes it so dangerous in today's market. While bigger brands pour millions into advertising and cosmetic upgrades, Tisas focused on making a sidearm that can survive brutal use without demanding premium money pricing. The result is one of the toughest hidden gems in the modern pistol world. The slide cycles with a confidence that feels heavier and more deliberate than most guns in its class. There's a mechanical honesty to it. No exaggerated gimmicks, no fragile race gun personality. Just a robust platform engineered to take abuse and keep running. The polymer frame is reinforced in all the right places, giving the gun a rigid feel during recoil, while the ergonomics lock naturally into the hand like a duty pistol twice the price. And then you notice the trigger. Cleaner than anyone expects. Fast reset, crisp break, controlled recoil that lets the shooter stay aggressive instead of fighting muzzle rise every shot. But here's what really matters. The PX-9 Gen 3 was built for the kind of owner who values function over status. Someone who wants a pistol they can train with relentlessly, toss into a truck, carry through rough weather, and still trust years later when newer handguns start wearing out. That's rare now. Many modern pistols are designed around trends that fade every few seasons. The PX-9 feels old school in the best possible way, durable, overbuilt, and unapologetically practical. Even the aggressive slide serrations and optics-ready capability feel purposeful rather than flashy. At its price point, it almost feels unfair, because while other budget pistols are trying to imitate premium firearms, the Tisas PX-9 Gen 3 is quietly becoming one of those guns people will look back on years from now and say, I should have bought one before everyone realized how good it really was. Outro? Modern pistols come and go, but true fighting handguns survive generations. Every pistol on this list earned respect through durability, engineering, and real-world performance, not marketing hype. So now the question is yours. Which of these budget beasts would you trust with your life 20 years from now? Drop your pick in the comments, subscribe, and stay ready for the next legendary Firearms Breakdown.